What's up, you guys? It's Steve here, and we're hearing that millions of Americans around the nation are soon going to be receiving stimulus checks. Stimulus checks are arriving, and this is your stimulus check update. Now, for those of you that follow me here on the channel, you know I keep you up to date on economic news, what's happening in Congress, what's passing with legislation, stimulus packages, stimulus checks, and we're getting word that there's more checks and more packages that are going to be on the way, and I keep you up to date on every level of which it's happening: federal, state, cities, counties, and take a look at what's coming out on a federal level. For those of you that follow me here on the channel, you've been seeing this a lot, and that is new checks are being proposed, articles coming out like this: stimulus checks for gas stimulus checks due to the increased prices. Proposal would provide up to $100 per person a month. So a household of four would get $400 per month according to this new proposal that has been released by Congress. Now, that's on a federal level. I will keep you up to date. We're hearing some of these bills are actually starting to get a little bit of traction, and that would go out to everybody in the nation. But today I'm going to be sharing with you checks that have been approved and are going to be going out to millions of Americans on state levels, and there are 11 of them that have been approved. Take a look, you guys. Articles coming out like this: stimulus check for inflation. Here are the states planning to send money to residents. Here's another one that just came out a little while ago: inflation stimulus payments. What states are planning to send tax rebate checks? There are 11 states that are going to be looking to send out money to their citizens, and one we're going to be diving into in more detail today. Check it out. Stimulus checks for inflation. 11 states plan to send tax rebates worth up to $850 each to millions of Americans. So I'm going to be covering for you the 11 states, who's going to be eligible, the amounts for each state, and get you all the details in this video on state stimulus checks. So let's go ahead and dive right in. But also, very quickly, just wanted to mention to you guys, thank you for all the support on my second channel, Steve Ram Finance. And if you're somebody that's interested in learning about growing wealth and personal finance, consider joining my second channel. And you can also see the latest updates on our new Flip House project. So if you're interested, consider joining. I'll pin a link down below in the comments. You can click it, go subscribe, turn on notifications, keep an eye out for content on that channel as well. But right now, let's go ahead and dive into the latest on stimulus checks. And before we do, if you could do me a quick favor, takes a second, helps me out a ton, and that is simply smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Also, leave your comments, share this out. If this is your first time here and you'd like to stay up to date, totally free, come join the Ram fam. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, and if you got any specific questions that you need help with, I'm easy to get a hold of directly. All you got to do is hop onto Instagram, shoot me a DM at SteveRam3. Best way by far to get a hold of me directly. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into the latest and get you caught up on 11 states sending out stimulus checks. Alright, so link in the description below to this article that just recently came out that says, check it out, stimulus checks for inflation. 11 states are going to be sending out tax rebates worth up to $850 each to millions of Americans. Now it says 11 states, including California and Georgia, are planning on sending out these rebates. Inflation has skyrocketed to a 7.9% over the past year, which is a 40-year high. We have not seen inflation this high in quite some time, the sharpest rise since 1982, amid the surging costs of gas, food, and housing. And due to all this going on, and us hearing that this isn't going to be coming down anytime soon, that is why we're seeing the calls for stimulus checks to help people out. Now, let's go ahead and cover these 11 states. They're in no particular order, just how the article listed them out. And the first one is Maine, and it says Maine Governor Janet Mills wants to send an $850 check to residents. She said that the average person will spend an extra $560 this year because of inflation compared to last. The relief payments still have to be approved, so this one is not official yet, this particular one, but the first check could be sent out in June. So that would be the arrival time for these checks in Maine. And it says some state politicians actually want checks to be sent out via direct deposit, but bosses at the Maine Revenue Service estimate that it has accurate banking information for less than half of the 800,000 people expected to be eligible for the relief. So we will see how they send it out, but they're saying expect it in June if approved. Next up is Georgia. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp signed a law on Wednesday, so this one is official. In Georgia, you are going to be receiving this that will send Americans in the Peach State up to $500. Residents will get a refund once they filed their individual income tax returns for 2021, the tax year, according to the governor's office. So You're going to get this when you file your taxes. Single taxpayers will pocket $250, heads of household $375, and single filers, married single filers will be receiving $500 checks, and married filers will get a single check of $500. Officials say that taxpayers who have already submitted their taxes do not need to make any adjustments. They're going to take care of it for you. Refunds will be allocated either via direct deposit or paper check, according to the Georgia Department of Revenue. Next is California. Governor Gavin Newsom has proposed an $11 billion package in a bid to help struggling Americans. Californians could get $400 for each registered vehicle that they own, capped at 2 cars. So this is going to be for those that are feeling that pain at the pump right now with the increased gas prices. We're hearing it's over $6 for the average for 1 gallon of gas in the state of California. The relief payments are likely to total around $9 billion. And Newsom said the direct relief will address the issue that we are struggling to address right now, and that is the issue of gas prices. Americans could get debit cards with the amount as early as July if lawmakers approve the package. So this one is also in talks, but there's been a lot of attention going on this. They've been saying sending out gas stimulus cards, stimulus debit cards that you could get as soon as July. Next up is Indiana. Indiana residents are due to receive $125 stimulus, but only after they file their 2021 taxes. So this one is going out in Indiana after you file your taxes. State law requires officials to hand taxpayers a refund if reserves, excluding education, total more than 12.5% for general funding pots. Now, the state has around $4 billion in reserves, equating to 23% of its general fund. So taxpayers will see the payments arrive via direct deposit and paper check. So that is happening in Indiana. New Jersey, and I've shared this with you in previous videos, that Governor Phil Murphy included checks worth up to $500 for 1 million families as a part of his administration's budget deal last year. So this is already law. It's done. You are getting $500 in New Jersey. Now, so far, there have not been any extra cash rebates proposed for the 2023 budget, but we will see. I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. Minnesota, couples in Minnesota earning less than $273,470 could get a rebate of $1,000 amid rising gas prices, according to Governor Tim Walz. The politician has also called for direct $500 checks for adults who make less than $164,400. Walz told reporters, "It's quite a few fill-ups that you could get out of $1,000. I think this money in the hands of folks before summer would make a good difference, and it's fiscally responsible." New Mexico, married couples that file joint tax returns and have incomes under $150,000 in New Mexico are eligible for a one-time tax rebate of $500. Single filers with income less than $75,000 are eligible for $250 checks, according to the governor's website. Governor Grisham said that New Mexicans, like all Americans, are feeling the pressure of rising costs. So, New Mexico, you can get $500 as a couple. Next is New York, and in January, Governor Kathy Hochul announced her spending plan as she revealed the state's $216.3 billion budget. As a part of the measure, she proposed a $2.2 billion middle-class property tax rebate for $2.5 million homeowners. Hochul also called for a $1.2 billion tax cut for middle-class taxpayers. The 63-year-old said that we know that the federal funds will eventually run out, and that's why we're not banking on them for the future. So property tax rebates on their way in the state of New York. Next up is Virginia. It's likely that politicians in Virginia will pass a rebate check, but the amount remains unclear according to WEBULL. So this one is not official yet in Virginia, but they're saying it's very likely this is going to be happening here very soon. And it says the amount could be around $250 or $300 for individual taxpayers, and married couples may pocket up to $600. So keep an eye out for that in Virginia, and as it becomes official and more information rolls out, I'll let you know here on the channel. Next up is Hawaii, and it says earlier this year, Hawaii Governor David Eagle called on legislators to provide residents with $100 checks. He issued a plea in his final State of the State address. It's not known if Hawaiians will get the rebate that he called for, and some lawmakers think that the amount should be bigger than $100, according to Hawaii News Now reports. And the Senate President Ron said that a rebate would go a long way for people who are living paycheck to paycheck. So potentially a rebate check coming in Hawaii could be $100. Some are calling for more. And next up we have Idaho. And Idahoans that filed taxes in the last 2 years are to be sent a rebate check or deposit around the end of March. So these are going to be going out here very soon. This is official in Idaho. Americans in the state will get either $75 or 12% of their 2020 taxes, whichever amount is higher. And it says around 25,000 rebates will be issued every week, and its progress can be tracked at tax.idaho.gov/rebate. Officials will issue refunds first by direct deposit and then send out paper checks in another wave. So keep an eye out for that in Idaho as well. So there you have it, you guys. 11 states sending up to $850 per individual that are going to be going out. Now, some of them we did cover, though. They did say that it's still in the works, but as more information rolls out, I'll keep you up to date here on the channel. And again, as we hear more about federal gas stimulus checks, I'll be sure to let you know as well. But you guys, that is the latest. And as always, thank you so much for joining me. If you made it this far and you haven't already, don't forget to smash that like button for the YouTube algorithm. Helps me out a ton. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Leave your comments, share this out. If you want to stay up to date on everything going on, come join the Ram fam, totally free. All you got to do is hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. If you got any specific questions for me, shoot them to me in the DM on Instagram at SteveRam3, and consider joining my second channel, Steve Ram Finance, to learn about growing wealth and personal finance. But with that being said, you guys, once again, thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.